Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on demo on Amazon Elastic Container Service. So in this demo, we will create an Amazon ECS cluster first. Then we will define a task definition to run web server container. This will be Apache web server. Then we will launch the container as a service and we will verify the deployment through the URL provided by the ECS service. So step 1, to create a cluster first. So for that, log into your AWS console. I am at AWS console home and search for Elastic Container Service and open this. So on the landing page, click on create cluster. So I'll copy the name of the cluster, my ECS demo cluster. It will automatically take the default namespace. Keep the infrastructure as AWS Fargate serverless. We will not be using Amazon EC2. This is the serverless version. So in this case, we just submit our jobs or task definitions and it will be run. So it can be either batch or it could be like perpetual. So it will either run forever or it will run a batch job and it will finish. Then click on create. Rest all settings you can keep as default, but anyway I'll show you that also. So if you want to have your own encryption key, you can choose that, and you can have your own monitoring like container insights. You can enable this option. So once the cluster is completed, then we will create a new task definition. So after some time you will see this message, cluster my ECS demo cluster has been created successfully. And once that is completed, you have to go to this task definitions and click on create new task definitions. So I will give this task definition as a web app task. And I'll keep the launch type as AWS Fargate and keep rest all settings as default. 1 CPU, 3 GB memory, and give task execution role, create new role. And this is the important part, container, that which container image you want to run. So I'll take the settings from the demo. So I'll call this as web app container. And this is the repository, the Docker image or container image repository with image and tag. So I'll be using Docker Hub repository, so I don't have to provide the repository URI or the URL. Then it's / and image and the tag. But in Docker Hub case, we can omit the repository URI. So I will take this Apache web server and tag is 2.4. And rest all the other settings are default. So this port name you can provide you can keep it blank or just the protocol. I just enter TCP. And this rest all settings are default. I just say 1 CPU, but otherwise it will take 1 CPU only to start with. And this Amazon CloudWatch, keep default settings. This will come handy in case you want to check out the logs and all. So this will go into Amazon CloudWatch. And storage, by default it will give 20 GB, but if you want to increase, you can go from up to 200 GB byte. So in case you are on this screen and if you want some more information, there is a info link. So if you click info link on the right side, you will see all the information. You can just read through it and provide the values. And then I will click create. So task definition is created successfully. So next step is to create the service. For this, we will go to the cluster and under the services tab, we have to create the service. So we go to clusters, click on the cluster, and under the services tab, click create. So it is because inside the cluster, so it has automatically picked up the cluster which we are working with. Keep all capacity provider strategy as default. And as I talked about, you can always click on this what it means. So just click on info, it will open on the right side. So here, this is the important part, deployment configuration. So here we are saying whether it's a long running service or a standalone task. So standalone task will run and complete, and it will finish the container. So it will not wait for you. But in this case, we are running a web server, so it's a long running service. This is for batch jobs or analytical job. So here, under family, so you will be able to see your web app task. And automatically it will pick up the latest. Okay, then we have to provide a service name. So I'll just call this as web app service. Rest all settings are default, but you can take a look. Deployment options, rolling update or blue-green deployment. And you have deployment failure detection, service connect, service discovery, and networking, load balancing. So in case you want to set up behind this like if you want to spin up this container behind a load balancer, you can choose this, but I will just say none for the moment. And auto scaling option is also there, and any tags optional. So click create. So after around 5 to 10 minutes, this web app service has been deployed successfully. And if I click here, you will see that it's all active, and last deployment should be completed. Now we will verify the service, but for that we have to enable open a inbound rules in the security group. So this service has a task, and that task is running on an instance, EC2 instance, which is managed by Fargate. But for that to test from publicly, we have to open a port in the security group. So this inbound rule, so basically I'm saying allow HTTP from anywhere, so that I can test it. So for this, let's say I'm in the services, you click on tasks, and you will see there is one task, and click on the task ID. So I'll just close this to have more space, and under the under the configuration. So here under the configuration, you will see all the configuration information about the task, and which subnet it is assigned to, and the elastic network interface ID. So click this particular thing, it will open in a new tab. And once you are here on the ENI interface summary, this security groups, you can open this in a new tab. And under the inbound rules, click on edit inbound rules and add one new rule. Just type in HTTP, and here just select from anywhere and click on save rules. So this security group rule has successfully modified on this particular security group. Now we will test the Apache web server, which is served by the ECS service on Fargate. So within the task ID, you will see public IP. So there is a link, open address, and it will open in a new tab. So you see it works. So this is served by the Apache web server, which is running on Fargate. And now we will do the cleanup. So first is to delete the inbound rule. So I am here, edit inbound rules. So that's why I opened in a new tab, so that it's easier to track back and delete all the objects that I have created. and this is here HTTP 80. So I make sure you delete the right group and click on save rules. So after I block this, if I just refresh, it will time out because I have blocked the firewall. Next is to delete the service. So go to ECS and let's say I start from beginning. So I just click here and go to clusters. Go to the demo ECS cluster and under services select this and click delete service. You can just check this box also. So service has been successfully deleted. Next is to deregister task definitions. So go to task definitions, click here. So I'll just click inside. So you go inside the task definition because that action is not there, and click on actions, deregister. So you will see this is deregister is as good as deleted. So that's why it has gone from the this web task definition list. And now you can delete the whole cluster. So I go to the clusters and click on cluster, and you just click on delete cluster. So you have to type in the whole thing, this phrase. And after some time, cluster and stack deletion is successful. So click on close. And now if I click on clusters, so there are no clusters. And that's all. Thanks for watching.